Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Quarantine Etiquette with the Royal Butler and the Royal Dachshunds, episode 33. Now, again, looking at the comments, there's been a few suggestions for how to lay up a buffet, and I'm not referring to Phoebe buffet from Friends. I'm obviously talking about when you prepare and lay out food, cutlery, napkins for your guests to help themselves, and it's a fabulous idea, especially in the summertime. And the Dachshunds were totally behind this idea. As you can imagine, they love the idea of food, anything to do with food really. Anyway, so we're going to demonstrate this. I'll show you the correct way to lay this up. I will also show you where we're going to position the food, and then obviously the Dachshunds, I'm sure, will want to give a lending paw, or mouth for that matter. Being a good butler, I'm all about pre-planning, and of course I brought out all the items I think I'm going to require, and I've positioned them relatively in order of how I'm going to then put them on the table. With no further ado, we will begin laying this up. To do the buffet, you need a substantial, relatively large space. So I know that some of us might not have that luxury, but I'm lucky enough that I've got that here. I've got my table and I've already clothed it, and I've got a few chairs dotted round about the garden. And as you can hear, the Dachshunds are already beside me, ready to assist. Once you've got the table clothed, you're ready to put your cutlery, your napkins and your crockery down. We're not going to put food out today because obviously with lockdown I don't have the luxury of going out and buying all the items I'd need for a relatively large buffet, but I'm still going to show you the placing to give you an idea of how to do this. So we're going to place a napkin on the table, and this is where you're going to have your cutlery and your napkins. Just to mention, when I place the napkin down, I normally try to leave again about an inch from the edge of the table, back to that old rule of mine. And then the knives go down first, and what I try to do is I try to kind of fan them, if you like, which is where one goes on top of the other, like that, and they're all in line and they're coming to the seam of the napkin. And then we have the forks, and you're going to place them like this in a line. However, this is fine for 4 people. Say you've got anything between 6 and 12 or more, you will run out of room. So then what you do is you place them on the side like that. The cutlery is positioned at this because the fork is always on the left and the knife is always on the right. And then we have the cheese knives, because I'm going to offer a main course and a cheese for lunch, which is very traditional. You can also offer a pudding, for example, or even a dessert. You might want to offer some cream and fruit. Strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, lovely idea in the spring, summer. But as I said, for today, I'd be just offering a cheese course. And then lastly, we've got our napkins, which I'm also going to place on the same line as everything else, and they're also slightly fanned out. And all I've done with the napkins is very simply they're folded in half and then placed like that. And that is your napkins and your cutlery all ready to go. And now we have the main course plates, and remember what I always say, make sure that they're all in the same direction. There's obviously no pattern on these, I'm just looking at how the design is on each plate. And just make sure that once again they're more or less in line with everything here. And then I'm also going to place down the cheese plates, again in line with everything else, and then everything is ready for the food. When it comes to the food, the idea of the buffet is that you have everything on the table that you require. So potentially you might have some meats, you may have some new potatoes, veg, and of course a salad. And then the next thing is making sure that you position it so that it's all easy to reach. So potentially you could do it like this, but of course it's down to the space and how you wish to do this. And some people also like to put the pudding course or the cheese course out at the same time. Again, you run the risk of somebody getting confused, but you can do that if it makes your life a little easier. And so here we'd have, say, a cheese board and a dish which would have the biscuits. With the salad, I want to put the salad servers just in the salad so they're ready to go. And then when it comes to the serving cutlery, I use the large spoons and forks, and you're going to position them the same way you would if you were laying up a table for the pudding. So you'd have the spoons on top and the forks just underneath, like that. And then I'm going to do the same here. And that is more or less all you require. As I said, you might need to move some of it around in order to fit everything on, but that's what you're trying to aim for. Alternatively, if you haven't got much room, you could position the fork and the spoon already on the dish, and I'd position them like that, face down, because then when the guest comes along, they're already the right way for them to pick them up. So there we have the perfect buffet table all ready for the guests to come in. As I said, we haven't actually got any guests coming because we're on lockdowns at the moment. We can't have anyone come round, but I think the Dachshunds might want to have their lunch from the table today. So I'll change this around a little bit so it's perfect for them, and we'll invite them to come in and have a little look at the table and decide what they wish to have for their lunch. I think it's safe to say this will be interesting. Now, Shumba, what we normally do, are you listening? Yes, Shumba, hello, yes. So what you normally do is you start here, you get your cutlery, you get your plate, and you go that way around the table, and once you get your food, you then go and find a seat in the garden, okay? Is it just me, or am I right in saying this isn't really going that well? Well, there we go. So as you can see, everybody, including the Royal Dachshunds, enjoy a buffet table, and hopefully, as you can hear, they're still enjoying it, and hopefully you can also have a go at this while we're in lockdown for either for yourself or for your family. Sorry, what was that? Oh, of course, I'd love to join you. That'd be wonderful for some dog bones. Yes, one of my favourite things, dog bones.